Hi everybody, TVO out on my third mountain bike ride, having a blast. This time I'm on the Bluestone Road going up Mount Anthony in Bennington. And if you ever come to the Bennington area, look me up and I'll take you up the Bluestone Road. It's one of my favorite places to run and now ride anywhere in the country. It's all, as you can see, enclosed in beautiful forest. It's an old carriage road for the castle that was, or still is, on the other side of the mountain in Bennington, and now they use it to access the cell phone and radio tower on top of the mountain, but other than that it's unused but very well maintained, and it's this blue shale and blue marble. That's why it has that, they call it the Bluestone Road. Anyway, it climbs 1,800 feet in 5 miles. It's pretty much a steady grade, not too steep. It's probably 5 to 6% all the way up, and I do the first half sitting down, the second half standing up, and it's a real bruiser. So, as I'm going along, I'm listening again to The Blind Watchmaker by Dawkins, and he presents a puzzle in there to illustrate a point. Can you build a stone arch by only moving one stone at a time? You can't use metal, you can't use rope, you can't use sticks or whatever. You can only move stones. So you're getting your stones and you're building a stone arch, but you can only touch one stone at a time. And when you think about it, it doesn't seem possible, because in order to build a stone arch, you have to kind of arch one side up and support it, arch the other side up and support it, otherwise it'll fall in, and then you put the keystone in top to hold it together. And once you put that keystone in there, you can take out the supports and the arch will support itself, because each of the stones will push into each other, they'll lean on each other. But if you're only touching one stone at a time, then one of the sides would collapse while you're putting a stone on the opposite side. So how do you do it? I want you to think about that for a minute. And as you do, I'm going to relate the solution into the tools that I use, because when I was listening to this, the solution that he presents sounds exactly like what I talk about in my videos. Okay? I talk about baby steps. I talk about those tiny little basic movements, just simply getting into action. Not worrying about a goal, not worrying about where you're going, not worrying about direction, not worrying about anything, just simply getting into motion, getting into action, getting engaged. Okay? This is the most important thing there is, because what you're doing is building character. Every time I get myself engaged, it doesn't matter what the end result is. It doesn't matter where I end up. It doesn't matter if I make it to the top of the mountain or not. It doesn't matter if I win a race in the future. Irrelevant. What's important is the person that I have to become and the character that I have to build to get myself out the door, to get myself on the bike, and to endure each pedal up this mountain regardless of how much it hurts. I'm building character. And this is what those tiny steps are all about. It's not about getting somewhere. It's not about achieving a goal. It's simply about creating a new you. Creating a new person who's stronger, who's more deliberate, who doesn't need willpower and discipline, because you're just consistently taking tiny steps that aren't that difficult. They're a little bit difficult, but they're never too difficult. You always make the steps small enough so that you can keep taking them. The moment you can no longer take a step, that means it was too big. So that's what this process is all about, building character. This is how you change your life. You don't change your life by winning national championships. I know, I've got 10 now. So what? Hasn't changed anything. But what has changed my life is the character that I've built on the way to winning those championships. Whether I won them or not is not important. But the fact that I had to get out there every day, regardless of the weather, regardless of my mood, regardless of how I felt, regardless of the conditions around me and the people in my life that were trying to tell me to do other things. It's too cold outside, you can't train, you can't do this, you're running too much, you're going to kill yourself, you're going to get lost in the woods and die. I had to get out and do it anyway. And that's character, and that's a character that'll always be with me now. That's the man I've become. One tiny pebble at a time. And this reminds me of the movie The Karate Kid, kind of dating myself, but I'm 46, where Mr. Miyagi makes Daniel-san wax the car, like put the wax on, take the wax off, wax on, wax off. And he has to do this for like an entire day. And what he really wants to do is learn karate. He wants to learn how to kick ass. And then he's got to sand the floor. Sand the floor, Daniel-san, sand the floor. And he's getting all pissed off. And then he's got to paint the fence for an entire day, maybe 2 days, maybe a week. I don't know how long it takes. Up, down, up, down. And he eventually freaks out and throws a little conniption fit because he's not learning karate. He's getting nowhere. Because that was his perspective. His perspective was, I'm not building an arch. I'm painting a friggin' fence. I'm waxing your damn car. I'm sanding the floor. I'm not learning karate. I am nowhere. And that slight perspective shift makes all the difference, because nowhere has the same letters as now, here. Because what he was doing in the now, right here, was building character. He was learning the moves of karate, which you eventually find out at the end of the movie. He was building the discipline, he was building the strength, he was building the neuromuscular intelligence, he was building the character. If he had just looked at the now and the here, instead of looking off and saying, I don't have an arch, I don't have karate, I'm nowhere. Because the solution to building that arch by moving one stone at a time is to first build a pile of stones. Build a round dome of stones, the height that you want to make the arch. That's the character. You're not building an arch yet. You're sanding the floor, you're painting the fence, you're waxing the car. There's no arch to be seen yet. I'm nowhere. But you are now here, building the support. And once you've built that dome of stones, then one by one, you can put the arch on the outside of it, one side at a time, until you put the keystone in. It's supported by the stones underneath, and then one stone at a time, you can remove the pile from underneath. And you'll have an arch, one stone at a time. And by taking those tiny steps that look nothing like your goals, you can build the character that will eventually support those goals when you're ready, when you've built the dome, when you've painted the fence enough and waxed the car enough. You will have the character to be a karate black belt or an Olympian or whatever it is that you want to be. So don't look down on those little steps and don't think that you're nowhere, because what you are when you take them is now, here, and that's the most powerful place in the universe. Okay, I'm off to bike some more. I love you. Bye.
Thank you.